Hey everybody, just want to welcome you into this video. I have some exciting information to share. We're planning a reopening service here at Faith Alliance Church. So I know some of you may not participate in the life of our church in the past, but maybe you've kind of started joining in online through Facebook or YouTube, and want to welcome you as well. My name is Trent Flutterjohn. I work on the pastoral staff at Faith Alliance Church, and just want to share with you today some steps that we're going to be taking to get back into worship here at the church building. So May 24th, we're planning to reopen, and I'm excited for that. We sent out a survey, and 70% of the people who responded said they were ready to start getting back into worship. There's another 20% that said they were kind of undecided. So anywhere from 70 to probably 80% of us are feeling like it's time to get back to worship. And I've been talking with some pastors from the area, some pastors from our denomination, and they're also choosing May 24th to be a weekend that they get together again. And our elders met, and we're in agreement with that. We think it's a good weekend to choose just to get together again. So I want to share some of the details of what that's going to look like and how we all can participate in just making that as smooth of a transition as possible. Before I jump into that, just a quick word on unity. For those of you who are part of Faith Alliance Church and this is your home church, I think this is a really important time for us just to exist as one body under Christ and just to have love and grace for each other. You know, this is a really polarizing topic, a lot of different preferences and opinions on how to handle things. So just keep that in mind as we come together. This is a great opportunity for us just to model what it looks like to love each other through hard times, to work together, to move forward as one body united in Christ. So just want to invite you into that. And a few more details with our plan to return. There's going to be 3 spaces that we provide for worship. So I'll talk about those in a little bit, give you some more details. There's also going to be some designated locations, 2 of those specifically, one for our most at-risk population. So if you are at risk, either for getting coronavirus or the effects that coronavirus might have on you, we're going to have a spot that's just for you, where you'll feel safe and separated. You can show up early, you can leave earlier. So that'll be for those people. And also our parents or families that have restless children. We're not going to provide any child care, but we are going to provide some space where families or parents could sneak away with their kids if they're getting antsy. We have a lot of kids as a part of this church, and we're excited about that. So we want to continue to have a space for each of you. Here's a layout. This is, I guess, a Trent Flutterjohn special. You see my lack of artistic ability maybe, but thanks to Garland Miller, we got a nice layout of our building, and hopefully this will just help give you a visual for what to expect when you come back on May 24th, if you choose to do so. This blue section is the first one I'll talk about. This is for our at-risk population. And we'd invite you to come a little bit early. So service is going to start at 10 o'clock. And if you could get here no later than 9:45, you can come in the side door, go straight into the sanctuary, have a seat. There will be at least 2 or 3 pews behind you that are empty for extra space. And then after the service, we'll make sure to dismiss you first. You can leave these doors and be out before people are moving around. So that's really going to be kind of a separate space for those who want to get in and get out without much interaction. The second space I'll talk about is what we're calling Gathering Space A. So that's also in our sanctuary. If you want to sit in the back side of the sanctuary, I'd ask that you come in through the main foyer, either the west side or the east side, and you can go straight into the sanctuary. There are a couple rooms in the back that will open up if there are any parents with kids that want to sneak away into those rooms. We just ask that you keep the people in these rooms at about 5 people max in each of those. But an opportunity to just step away there if you need to. Our second space, we're calling Gathering Space B, is our fellowship hall. We'll be live streaming the service into the fellowship hall, putting it on the projection screen. And there's about 75 seats set up in here right now that are really spaced out. So typically we'd have close to 120 seats in there. So we've reduced that pretty significantly. And all these spaces, we'll ask that you sit with your family or people that you've been close with physically, so that you just remain together. And then we'd ask that you try and keep the 6-foot separation recommendation in mind for those you might not be related to or living with, just to protect people. If you'd like to participate in worship in the fellowship hall, You can come in the side door here on the east side or the back door on the west side, and you can go straight into those spaces and leave when the service is done. One thing we'd ask is that you try not to go through multiple spaces when you're here on Sunday mornings. Just stay in the single space that you're going to worship in. And maybe you know some people that are over here and you're worshiping over here. We just ask that you come outside and hang out with them and have some conversation before or after the service, kind of in an open air environment. Right here is going to be a tent. So this is our third worship space, and there will be the service will be live streamed in there as well on a big screen TV. And we'd invite you to just bring your own chair and set up a lawn chair, whatever chair you have that's comfortable, just to set that up in there. We will have some chairs available if you need one. But this is just another space that provides an open air environment. If you do have kids, you're obviously welcome to step outside of the tent and walk around a little bit. Just be mindful of the people who are worshiping in there, and not to have the kids yelling and making too much noise, but you're obviously welcome to step out if you need to, just to be with your children. So this is where our children's area typically meets, and we're not going to have any volunteers. We're not going to staff the children's area, but we are going to open all these rooms up for you to use with your kids. Each of those rooms will have a television in it that will live stream the service, and we're going to put a max at about 10 people in each of these rooms. So you're welcome to use those rooms. If you think you might have to step away during the service with your kids, you might consider sitting in the fellowship hall, or you can just go straight in and find a room that you could spend some time in. You could also go in through the east side here by the parking lot, and you can go back to the children's area. We'll have somebody in there to kind of help oversee that and just manage that time to make sure that the rooms are being handled correctly. But you're welcome to use this space if you would like to. So with that, I'd like to address a few questions and answers. The first of those is a hot topic. What about masks? Do you have to wear a mask, right? This is a lot of people have different opinions on this. What we're going to say is that masks are recommended but not required. So we recommend that you wear a mask, but we're not going to require it. We'll have masks available at every entrance here at the church if you'd like to use one. And we just ask that you make that decision, giving consideration to the people around you and those who are at the highest risk, not just for yourself, but to protect others. But they're recommended, not required. What's the expectation for families with small children? I think if you have little children that don't understand social distancing, we'd ask that you keep them close to you as well as you possibly can, just to keep their hands off of things or from bumping into people who may be trying to socially distance. If your kids are old enough that they understand it, we want them to feel free. We don't want to feel like they're being controlled in every moment of our Sunday morning worship. But if you have little kids, we just ask that you keep them with you and close by. Our guests and visitors welcome. Absolutely. I understand some of you may be watching right now, haven't been a part of our church physically, but maybe you've started watching online as we've been on Facebook or YouTube. We'd love to meet you. We'd love for you to be here. If you do attend Faith Alliance regularly, maybe you have some people in mind that have wanted to worship with us, or it's a new opportunity for them to join us. Go ahead and invite them. They're welcome to join us, and we'd love to meet them. I would say maybe consider meeting them in the front parking lot just to welcome them and help them be comfortable, because it is kind of a unique setting. But absolutely, guests and visitors are still welcome. The fourth one here, can we shake hands? I would encourage you not to shake hands, no high fives, no hugs. I know a lot of you are going to see people who've been missing. You're going to want to give them a hug. But we just ask again, for the sake of everybody around us, if you just refrain from that, we'd appreciate it. Our restrooms available. Our restrooms will be available. We just ask again that you use them only as you really need to, and just wait till you get home if you can. But they're here. They'll be cleaned a little bit more than our other spaces, so they're available. But just ask that you use those if you really need to. Number 6, how about hand sanitizers? We have some hand sanitizer. Yes, we will. We'll have hand sanitizer at every door, every entrance, and also kind of throughout our space. If you have a small one you'd like to bring along, you're welcome to do so, but we'll have some here for you. Wednesday night ministries and other events, are we starting those up? We're not going to be starting our Wednesday night ministry, but we are going to start easing into some other ministries and other events. And we'll keep everyone updated as those come along. Right now, we're just focusing on Sunday morning. We want to do it well. We want to make sure that we have things in place with that. But we do hope to start easing into some other things. And as I said, we'll make sure to keep everybody up to date with that. Are we going to live stream our service? Yes, we are. So if you're not comfortable coming back yet, that's important for you to know. That's totally fine. You need to do what's right for your family. You need to do what's right for your unique situation. And you can watch online. We'll still post it on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our website. The only adjustment there is a 10 o'clock start rather than 10:30. Number 9, how long will we worship this way? I'm not for sure. But one thing that we're going to work towards is hopefully making as few changes as possible. So we'd like to get in a spot where we could have a little bit of a rhythm and people know what to expect. But as we've all learned, it's going to require some flexibility and patience. So we just invite you into that. We're going to have to tweak things, I'm sure, from week to week. So I'm not sure how long it'll last, but we'll do it as long as we feel we need to. Number 10, I'm not comfortable attending. Is that okay? This is just a word for those of you who maybe you're not ready to come back yet. Maybe it has something to do with how you understand the virus and how it affects people. Maybe it's your age, maybe it's underlying health conditions. Whatever that reason is, we want you to know it's totally fine for you to worship from home. You're still a part of this family. We're going to miss you. We're going to wish you were here, but absolutely, we want you to be where you're safe and where you're comfortable. So you're welcome to worship from home. We'll keep you in the loop with everything as well as we can. But once you know, I have no expectation for you to be here, and I don't believe that God is disappointed by your decision to not be here physically. He understands as well. He knows that. So I want to encourage you to do what's right for you. So again, May 24th, just a couple weeks away, we'll be able to gather here again at the church. Just invite you out if you're comfortable, if you're ready. I know a lot of people are ready for that. I'm excited to see you all, excited to worship together. I've been looking forward to it, so excited for the 24th. We'll be starting the book of Habakkuk that weekend. So a new series, and just invite you out if you're ready. Thanks a lot.